then I fell into like heavy depression. I was drinking every day, like heavy alcoholism. Like I almost died. I crashed. I had a Jeep Trackhawk that my girl bought me for my birthday, and I was drinking. It was probably like coming from the studio. It was probably like 6, 7 in the morning. And I totaled my car. Like,
Big Boy's Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting on this one, bro. I see this dude out all the time, man. And Herbo, you always A1, bro.
Appreciate it.
Welcome
bro.
to the neighborhood, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
It's a
I'm
pleasure
happy
to have
be
you in here, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Hell
bro.
yeah, I just found out that he live out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I would run into you like but every time I ran into you, bro,
Yeah.
you always been solid.
For sure.
And I
appreciate
never
it,
got
man.
no like funky vibes from her or anything, man. And I told him, I said, man, I just recently celebrated a birthday.
Yeah.
And I asked for one of the chains, you know,
Which
like,
one?
and he was
What
like,
are
oh,
those
he was
chains?
like, big. He was like, Unc, you got that.
Man, which one you need,
Man,
man?
whichever one right
Come
there.
on, you could get the
Hey,
biggest
dude.
one, the 1 carat,
Hey,
man.
man,
You
let me
get
tell
all
you,
1 carat.
I take the smallest one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, man, you see I wore this one. I knew you was coming in with yours, so I wore this one.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't no battle, man. But like I said, welcome to the neighborhood,
For
man.
sure, I appreciate
And
it,
congratulations on the new music as well.
Thank you,
It's a lot,
bro.
and you know when people say, man, it's a lot of growth, but it's crazy, man, because it feels like with you that you're definitely current, but there's a long history with you in the game to be as young as you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you feel that same thing, man, where you go into an album and do you feel like there's a growth there with you as well?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel like I've been doing music like on a professional level since I was 16, going on 17 years old. I'm 28. I'm about to be 29 now. And like my fans grow with me, but I'm always looking for that new fan base. Like I
Right.
want to touch global superstardom even more. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like the more I grow as a man and I mature as a man, my music mature with me. You know,
But you
and I
know what's
try to
crazy, man?
stay
Just
true
off
to it.
the projects and the albums, right? We're in a time in music, man, where you're here today and you're gone tonight.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, you could drop a new album and
ain't
they
say
waiting on the
tomorrow,
next.
you say tonight.
Tonight. But you know what though, man? There's a staying power too. And you say with your fan base, they grow with you. And sometimes your fan base want to either keep you in a box, and whatever that box is,
They
it could
do.
be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How do you know? Because some gonna keep you there anyway. But how do you continue to exercise your growth and not being too much worried about stepping outside the box?
One thing, the most important thing for me, bro, is like not really paying attention to like public like perception and
Right.
the internet, and you know what I'm saying, and what they feel like I should.
Did you ever?
know. I used to.
Yeah.
I used to when I was younger. You feel what I'm saying? Like I used to be in the comments, commenting back, and on Twitter, watching the tweets and stuff. But now it's like I feel like I'm experiencing life on a level that I really didn't used to at first. Like I
Right.
used to be in a box myself as far as the things that I would try to do.
Yeah.
And trying to experiment with new things and being around different kinds of people. Like now, I surround myself with mostly people who got just as much or more than me.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And
So it's
something to lose and something to gain, as we
Exactly.
should.
So it's like I get a lot of like inspiration from hanging around Southside, who one of my closest friends, and I've been knowing Southside since I was 16.
Is it crazy to grow with somebody like that and
Yeah.
experience so much?
It is, because
Yeah,
we've been
man.
through a lot, like a lot of ups and downs
Yeah,
together. You
that's
feel
what I'm saying.
Like
That's
we
life.
never
This
fell out
ain't
as
music, it's
brothers.
life.
But like his obstacles and the things that he have to overcome, and my obstacles and the things that I had to overcome, like we kind of go through them together.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, cause that's my real brother. And like behind the scenes, I get a lot of like advice from Pluto, from Future. He give me
Right.
like a lot of like advice and insight on like how he think I should be moving, cause he knew me since I was younger too. And he like, man, I feel like you should be on this and doing this. And even when he see me slacking a little
How
bit.
did that start though? You know what I'm saying? And especially just being from two different areas, like how does that communication start?
Really like
Hold
with
on for a second.
Southside.
Whose phone is that, man? Please.
With it started really like with Southside, and then I got to give a lot of credit to my homie Zona. Zona, man, he from Chicago too, and you know I've been knowing Zona since I was like 12 years old.
Gotcha.
And him and Pluto, like you know what I'm saying, they like real close. They like brothers basically. You feel what I'm saying? They go everywhere together. And when I link with them, I link with Pluto, and you know what I'm saying, like me and Southside, we got a studio crib in Miami. We like basically live together out there. So everywhere he go, I go pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And Pluto just one of them real dudes where like if he really rock with you, he'll pull you to the side and holler at you for real. Like,
Hey man, did it feel like, you know how when you grow up in a certain place, it feel like the neighborhood, the block, like it's everything to you.
yeah.
And sometimes we don't even come off the porch, but it feel like that's our world. And have you realized how big the world is now?
Yeah.
And what you used to view as the world or success. You know what I'm saying? Do you trip off of that?
That's crazy you saying that, because I used to really, like, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be that kid that used to say, I'm never leaving Chicago.
Yeah, man.
I used to say, no matter how much money I get. I believed it. Like, I really thought I was gonna still be, like, hanging out in my neighborhood. Like, I just recently went back to my neighborhood. Like, I do a lot for the community, and I take care of my people, my family, and my friends, but I do it from afar. Like, I recently just went back to my neighborhood for the first time in, like, 3 years. And everything is different. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel out of place a little bit over there. You know what I'm saying? Because the generation and under me is like, they moving and they having their own, you know, the world on their shoulders, and they feeling like, you know what I'm saying, they running the neighborhood, and which they are, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, with me, I think about, like, when I was 16 and 17 and people who was 28 trying to tell me what to do, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't listen at all, you feel me? I would have to, like, learn on my own. And I really, it's from a point where I don't even try to tell them. I just try to give them advice and, like, give them things that'll make them, like, have motivation and aspiration and goals to want to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first it used to be like the older cats, like, telling me, like, man, y'all tripping to do this and do that. Man. And it make you, like, lean away from them instead of, like, you gotta crash the car yourself, though. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to.
And it's crazy because you'll even look back, and the older you get, you start to realize too now, like, damn, now I get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, now I get it. And some of the homies, the little ones, they ain't getting it yet.
Yeah.
They ain't getting it.
The more that I like travel and do things and hang around people who got, like, more going on than me, I really see, like, the world is really bigger than
man.
The little 4 square box that I was in and that I grew up in, because I used to really think a certain way and think that my mindset wouldn't change. Like, I used to try to be like, you know how when you come from, like, the hood for real and, like, poverty, you feel like you don't never want to change. Yeah. But I'm grateful that I changed. I'm grateful that I don't think the same way I did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Even 2-3 years ago, you feel me? Like,
and what's the 5 year from now thinking too?
Exactly.
Man. At least, and it's crazy once you start to embrace it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's just times too, man, where you just want to be extremely loyal to the soil, and you can be, and you continue to be, but sometimes, man, you just can't be quite on turf.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason it is, man, especially if you're trying to lead by example.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go and you got to experience things too.
I feel like it's more upside from it, getting away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you put yourself in a different environment, what I mean by that, like, you got to be uncomfortable. Like, you gotta do things that you didn't even expect that you would be doing, and you got to just put yourself in a position or in an environment that you're not really used to. And then that's when you start to elevate, you know what I'm saying, with your life and your career. Like,
how do you handle, and I ask people this all the time, Herbo, I say, how do you handle the enoughs? And the enoughs is being hood enough, street enough, corporate enough, down enough, father enough. Like, there's a lot of enoughs.
It's never really enough. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You always have to, like, top what you done. And I just seen a clip with 50 Cent, and he was saying, like, when he was talking about, like, being tough, like, you always, once you like, prove that you tough or commit an act of being tough or doing something, you have to stay in that. You have to do it again and prove yourself again and again.
And you get tested way more.
And that goes with, like, you could never be great enough. You could never be smart enough. You could never be rich enough, because you learn something every day. People working every day, and it's always somebody that's on a higher level than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with fatherhood, like how you was just saying, like, you do something and it's like, it's no ceiling to that, because it's always stuff that you're supposed to pour into your children. You're never going to stop spending money on your children. You're never going to stop investing time into your children.
If you care.
Exactly. So it's like, how I deal with it is I just try to do the next best possible thing, because I slip up a lot. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Same. Like, and with my lifestyle and my schedule, I be all over the place and trying to grasp it, because especially when you're trying to elevate, you can't really, when you get used to a certain thing and you get to that next level, it's like, the discomfort that you had really elevating, you got to learn yourself all over again. You got to learn everything and everybody around you all over again. Sometimes you got to shift up the energy. You got to shift up the people around you. You got to put new people around you. You got to change your team up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
how did you figure out that everybody can't go?
Oh, man.
Because at one point, bro, you want everybody to go, bro.
Yeah. I dealt with that. And I had a hard time with that for a long time, man. And it really got to a point where it's like,
it never stops either.
It never stopped. It got to a point where the majority of the people you see around me, like, not even too many people that I grew up with. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, unless it's my family members, like, I got probably 5, 6 of my closest friends that I really grew up with and been knowing for 15 plus years. Like everybody else, I feel like I tried already. I done so much, and you really realize like it's impossible because I was really that kid when I first started making money. I would like give my last to people, like give my last to somebody. You say you in this situation, you in the jam, I help you get out the jam. You in another jam, you in another jam, you in another jam, and I come from the street, so it's like I was paying for funerals, I was paying for like bonds, people to get out of jail. I was paying to put people in position. I was having people like around me on the road trying to like make my homies and this and do that and do that. And then it's like when it didn't fall through, I felt like I lost so much of myself. I had to separate. Like I'm one of them kind of people. I really go on like a hiatus. I disappear from everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like I will really like just probably go put myself in the studio. I'll go to LA, not answer my phone for 2-3 months until I really get back where I'm at mentally. And then I'll come back outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of times people would not have access to me. And I learned that just from being depressed. Like, I was really depressed and wanted to just go isolate myself from everything in the world and everybody around me because I felt like I got such a big heart. If I do speak to you, I'm going to want to do it. I'm going to do something for somebody. I'm going to extend myself, extend my arm. I'm going to come and be the helping hand and try to get somebody out of something. And I'm not even where I want to be mentally, financially, physically, all the above. You feel
and
what
we're
I'm saying?
The problem solvers, bro. I live the same way. And I even get to a point too, man, where I tell people now, if you haven't started, don't start.
Right.
Because if you do start, bro, it's hard. I've had artists in here and celebrities and just people in general. I say, man, how do you say no? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing with me, bro. I even went to therapy about that being one of my patterns. Is that I want to handle your problems. I'm a people pleaser. You know, I want to show up because that also comes, Herbo, for me, not having that growing up. And wishing I had somebody that when rent was lower, when we were homeless, like offer us something. You know what I'm saying? So I know those positions and I want to be that person. You know, and like I said, don't stop. You can notice it. But damn.
I feel like, and that's crazy you said that, man, because once you start, it's like you could never really stop. Like,
nah, bro.
I promise you, like, everybody always on my phone. Everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got people, I got friends and people around me and close to me that like they in the same position I am. But I feel like sometimes they always call me because they know I'm gonna say like, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
I'm never the one that's
I even try
no.
to justify it too. I be like, man, well, maybe God gave me the blessings,
right?
So I could bless others.
And I say that too. But a
man.
lot of times I ain't gonna lie, and I hear this a lot, like especially from people, like successful people, and they like, man, I'm really like in the position I am because no is like my favorite word. I always say no.
Somebody had told me, they said, don't explain no. You know what I'm saying? Just say no. And I'm like, damn, I'm still working on that.
Right.
And when you talk about just like depression, did you know you were depressed? Or you didn't know what to call it?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to call it for real. And then when I learned about like mental health and depression and anxiety and stuff, and I started to like go to therapy and get the help that I needed too. But I really didn't because I felt like a lot of people felt the same way that I did, you know? So it's like, it felt normal to me to be like, be having anxiety. And some days I'm up, some days I'm down, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, I really learned, like, I started to realize it when I would be around like the people that's closest to me because I'm one of those kind of people that like, I don't really wear my feelings on my sleeve, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I go out, I still take care of my business, I do what I gotta do, I smile in front of people, and then when I get home, I'm frustrated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably treating my girl a certain way or arguing or yelling at somebody that's the closest to me because I don't snap
they get it.
out. They get it. And then I started to realize, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm really doing it backwards, you feel me? Like, I gotta be able to, like, go home and recharge my battery to go out to, you know what I'm saying, like,
and then you got to be everything to everybody too, bro. Exactly. And you got to wear the cape. And it's crazy because there's some people that think that, and you probably told yourself too, like, man, why am I tripping like this? I'm blessed. Well, I got this, I got that, you know? And you find every reason to try to ignore it. But you can't. You can't ignore it, man. And it's crazy that we have these kind of dialogues now because it used to be where you didn't talk about mental health. You didn't. I heard everything from, you know, shrink, head doctor, and we as men, and especially as black men, we supposed to, you just carry it. You know, you just carry it. That's why I'm so happy that there's dialogue now, bro. You know, it don't make you soft, it make you real.
And a lot of people go their whole life like really not being happy because they never really like go take the extra step to go get the help they need, or they don't even like realize it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be in denial that they really are depressed or they are suffering from this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Was it hard for you to go for therapy?
I felt like it was at first, but then I started to like it for real because I didn't really have too many people to open up to and too many people to talk to. At least
but everybody could talk to you.
Exactly. And like at least they understood where I was coming from. You know what I'm saying? It's like because I was like grieving the loss of like some of my closest friends and stuff like that. And it would happen at such a frequent level, I could never really get over grieving somebody before somebody else died. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once I started to really like, I think I started to like address my problems head on. That's what really made it like better for me. You know, like I would just act like think like, all right, it's cool, just sweep it under the rug. But now I address my problems head on.
Yeah, it become a big ass lump under that rug too.
Yeah.
That's when you start tripping over that rug too, bro.
For sure,
then
man.
you try to play, you don't notice it, you know.
And I really went like, I feel like I was definitely depressed for like a year straight, you know, and a lot of people that was closest to me could see it. Like now people come and tell me like, all right, yeah, you look better. Yeah. You look more healthy, you smile more and stuff like that because I was just like, I would just bury myself in the studio. I go to the studio all the time. I was never home, you feel what I'm saying? And I was like, it got to a point where I was even turning down shows. Like I ain't want to perform and do nothing. Like, you know.
Yeah, and you know, on the outside you seem, you know, that's the outside looking in. Yeah. You seem, you know, I see you're smiling. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel like, oh yeah, he's working, but yeah.
That's in actuality, I really wasn't. Though.
Right,
I was chilling.
And that's what I say, bro. We send a representative. Yeah. We always send a representative. You know what I'm saying? Until we find like our true self. Right. But that representative will show up. You know, and sometimes that representative never disappears. So I'm glad. And as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because
as we talking, I really feel like we got a lot of comment though, bro. No,
everybody, man. Yeah, everybody in here. Everybody know, bro. Everybody know. You know what I'm saying? And it's good. It's good dialogue. And I can me also, man. My family know I carry a lot because I'm the one that when I made it, we made it. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's with you on a lot of services too. When I made it, we made it.
I've been taking care of my family, my entire family since I was 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't get a break. Don't get me wrong. I love being blessed enough to be able to do this.
Exactly.
You feel me? But I know I overextend myself, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it get to a point where I be really having to focus on just working for 6 months, 8 months straight, a year straight to get all the way ahead. Then I start doing things for people.
Hey, man, like, somebody watching this interview or listening, somebody gonna be like, yeah, I was talking about us, huh? When you was talking to him, you was talking about us, man. How was it growing up? Did you have music in the household?
Yeah, I did, man. My grandmother on my dad's side, she used to sing. My uncle, they had a group called D to the S, and they used to rap. That's how I really fell in love with music for real. Like they was actually born in LA and moved to Chicago.
Are they still here with us to see your success?
Both of my uncles passed away, man.
Damn.
Yeah, both of my uncles passed away. One passed when I was like, I think 13, and my other uncle passed away when I was like 18, 19 years old.
Hey, man, you know what I say about that too, bro, or
maybe like 20.
With me, like my mom was the most important thing. Most important the only tattoo I got, it says Ida son. And I got that before my mom passed. I love moms, right? Yeah. And when my mom passed, and maybe this is with your uncles or anybody else as well, man, I felt like I had the biggest representative sitting next to God. Yeah. And when I say that, it was like, I felt like my mom was there sitting next to God saying, get that girl away from him. You know, get that person away from him. And it felt like things just started naturally happening. Right. And maybe also with your uncles, bro, even your career, there's just some things that just kind of naturally happen that they wanted it. Yeah. And maybe they sitting down and like, oh, okay. You know, and you still got to go through the bumps and bruises.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But like, I ain't gonna lie, and I always like credit them, like, you know, because I made my first raps like in their house, like in their basement, writing rhymes, and you know what I'm saying? I felt like I always had aspirations to rap, but I didn't really think I could do it. Right. I didn't have the confidence.
How old were you when you were writing in
I was like Uncle's 9 years old.
Really though?
Yeah. I ain't really had the confidence to be like, all right, I want to rap, you know? And then when I got like 15 years old, I like let my homies hear it, you know? And then when they started to like gravitate to it, I got confident and I got like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my swagger with it a little bit.
But think about like when you say you're 15, right? So think about what the world looked like even 13 years ago. Yeah. You know, social media wasn't as prevalent. You know what I'm saying? And then you also think like things happen, but how do they find you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can sit and write in the basement, right at the house, but how do they find you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's the big thing. You know, so how did you go from writing at 9 letting the homies hear it years later to where you say, all right,
Yeah.
I think I could do
I
this.
really feel like it was my purpose, bro. Like I say that and a lot of people be thinking I'm tripping, but I really feel like my purpose was to be who I am today.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I wouldn't have been nothing else. Like I wouldn't have been better at nothing else than this. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. So it's like when I started to do it, it was like it just happened like a freight train. You know what I'm saying? I started freestyling on my block, freestyling at school, and everybody like, oh yeah, Herb, he got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally when I first started, it wasn't like people like, are you cool? You could do it. They like, no, you got it. Like you the one. You gotta do it. Like you gotta keep rapping. You feel what I'm saying?
And how do you go from that to getting attention? And you gotta think, man, even in Chicago, we had some, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't have that strong connection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's one thing when somebody can tell you like, oh man, you got it. Then you're like, damn, what'd I do with it?
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like, and I was young. When I was like 15, 16, I was hanging out with older guys. Like, I get that from my dad. Like I was just super advanced. Like my dad, when he was 14 years old, like he was hanging with like 25, 26, 27-year-olds in real life. Like my grandmother shipped him to St. Louis because when my grandfather died, it was like older guys coming to my grandmother's house to like check on him, you know, like just to make sure she cool. And she like, how do you even know my son? Like you 26, 27, my son 15 years old.
Those are worlds apart.
How do you know him? You know what I'm saying? Like I was that same kid. Like when I was 15, 16, I was overly advanced. Like I was driving, I was making money, and I was really hanging with older guys in my neighborhood. So when I started to rap, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know nothing about music or the music industry at all. I just knew how to rap. Like older guys was cuffing me like, nah, I'm finna take you to the studio. Like you finna get in the studio. I bet. I know this dude over here know how to shoot videos. He finna shoot your videos right now. Like come outside, you feel me? Like I still hear the curfew. When I shot my first video, I was telling my homie like, bro, it's like 11:30. I gotta go.
Yeah,
like,
hurry
I gotta
up.
go to the crib. My mom's gonna be tripping. He like, I ain't gonna lie. He like, man, shorty, you finna get rich, boy. You better tell your mama you ain't coming in the house. You know what I'm saying? I really like, I bet. I just listened to my homie like, all right, cool. Forget it then. She just gonna have to just get mad.
That sounds crazy, you going and tell your mama that though sometimes.
From there, it just like, I didn't even tell her. Like I just really, when I got home late, I told her I was at my homie crib. Like I ain't even tell her I was shooting a video or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It just picked up. And when I first dropped my video on YouTube, my aunt, who was like in her 50s at the time, she called my mom like, hey, you know your son got a video on YouTube right now? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, they 30 deep, smoking in the videos. Like, you feel me? Like, they got guns in the video. Like, you know your son? And she came over there to watch it. And it was like, I ain't gonna lie, they seen I had talent. They didn't even make me quit. Like, she ain't make me quit. And I'm like, Mom, I'm finna do this. Like, I'm about to rap. Like, it's cool. Like, you gotta just trust me. You feel what I'm saying? And she knew I was always, like, I was smart. I had my own head on my shoulders. I wasn't a follower.
Right,
like,
gotcha.
She knew being out in the streets, like, I was gonna always make my own decisions as a man and not really go follow the crowd or follow nothing. You know what I'm saying? So she trusted me enough to just allow me to do that. And I promise by the time I was 16, 17 and started picking up, I started making money from it. Like I told my mama to quit her job. I had the song with Nicki Minaj when I was 17 years old.
No, you were
like,
17?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was 17 when I did that song with Nicki. Like it just started picking up quick, you know, and it was
Hey,
like,
man, is that scary too? Or did you realize the momentum? Or when you look back now, you're like, damn.
I didn't. I wish I knew my power back then. Like,
yeah, man.
Know, like I was so nervous even doing that, like just being in them environments, like, cause I had the confidence, but I really didn't know I belonged. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Boom.
That was my thing. Like, do I really belong here? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now that I look back at it, it's like, man, I wish I knew then what I knew now. Or I had somebody, like, really, like, putting it all the way into me. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I got to give credit to, like Mickey, too. Like, Mickey Hoster, he used to always tell me, like, shorty, you are the one. Like, I believe in you all the way. You feel me? But I still, like, in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm young. I'm still in the streets for real. Like, at 17, I was still going back to my hood. I was in the streets for real, for real.
Yeah, you 17 too, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was young, but, like, for Nicki to call me, fly me out, you know what I'm saying? I did the song. She put the song out. When the song came out, the day the song dropped, because I think the song dropped like a year later than we actually recorded it. So when the song actually dropped on that day is the day I was supposed to be graduating high school. I had dropped out. So it's like, I was looking at it like a sign. Like, I kind of had FOMO.
So you did the song even before that, a year before that.
Yeah, a year before
so
that.
So you could be possibly 16, 17.
Yeah,
then
16
17,
going
18.
on 17, right. And then I was supposed to be graduating high school. And I really felt like, I felt bad because I'm like, my homies graduating, they walking across the stage. I feel like, man, I'm supposed to be walking across the stage right now. Like, you know, even though I was doing music and it was working for me, I kind of still had FOMO like, man, I'm supposed to be walking across the stage with my homies.
Both worlds
and
too.
Then when it came out, I'm like, nah, hey, I'm in LA right now. Like, the song came out a year later, but I coincidentally happened to be in LA when the song dropped, and it's like, bro, I got a song with Nicki Minaj out. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for real.
And this is like fish grease, Nicki. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like it's hot. Yeah, and that's one of the things too where, and you know, I mean, the diploma's beautiful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their paper, but you got your paper too.
Nah, for sure. From that day on, though, I ain't gonna lie, my life changed drastically. Like, I started doing shows. I was on the road all the time. You feel me? And it's like I started to gain my confidence more and more after that. But I never really took the step to put 100% of myself into music.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
How many times you felt like you had to recreate yourself though too? Because you know, sometimes we think like, oh, I'm on.
Yeah,
I'm on. Like this is it. Yeah.
Bro. Like I think the most like adversity I faced outside of maybe the last 2 or 3 years, because I really went through a lot in 2021 when my little brother passed away. But before that, like the first time I really had to reinvent myself is when I'm like, man, I'm leaving the streets. Like I got to get out the streets. I think I was like 21 at the time.
Yeah, because you do try to balance.
Yeah, you try to balance.
Even when I first got into radio, this is my boy Sean Wan. We've been knowing each other for many years, and we got down other things before. The radio was the first job I ever had in my life. Yeah. But I remember when we first got into radio, my first thing was like, man, okay, I could make this and I could take this and flip this into this. And then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I was thinking how
That's how I was, man. I messed up so much money doing that. And it's like, I definitely messed up so much money doing it. And it's like, I was still just trying to be in the mix. You know, I ain't really want nobody to be like, oh yeah, Herb changed, Herb this, Herb that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was still putting myself in predicaments where I could have really thrown my life away. And it was like, I just had, I don't know, God just, something went through my body. And it was like God telling me like, all right, you gotta stop doing everything you doing right now or you gonna die or go to jail. Like, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, for real. Like, I really felt like that.
How many times do we test that though?
I used to test it all the time.
It's not a light switch. I always say it's more of the dimmer.
Nah, for sure.
It's not an instant flick.
No, it's not. It's not.
Then you're like, oh, okay, I see the room
I
is
came
bright.
to, I literally, it was like that, for real. Like, and it got to that point, it was just like one day. It was one day this one situation happened, and I went home like, I'm not going outside no more. Like, I'm not getting in the car. I don't care who called me. I'm not getting in nobody's car going outside. You feel me? Like, and it was hard for me to explain that to a lot of people too.
Yeah, man.
You know, like, it was hard for me to explain it to my homies because I was feeling bad too. Like, I was leaving them, you know what I'm saying? But once I started, like, when I stood on it, and I kind of like, I separated myself from a lot of my closest friends, and it took for them to really mature themselves and realize like I was doing the right thing. I made the right decision. It's like once I did that, like, you know, like when Snoop said you got to just get to that level and everybody got to just come up and meet you. You can't meet them halfway or go down. I did that, and it's like a lot of my homies started to elevate as well right with me because they knew I was not doing nothing else but what I was doing.
You get like bodies.
Exactly.
You get like bodies and like minds,
for
bro.
sure. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
And when I did that, that was probably the best decision that I ever made in my life, you know, and I had to really reinvent myself. Like, I was going to the studio, but I wasn't putting the music out. I wasn't going outside. And this was when, like, I had millions of followers on Instagram and stuff too, you know, and I wasn't even posting on Instagram. Like, my manager used to call me like, bro, you're not even posting your fans, like, your reactions and all this stuff going down. Like, they was really calling me about that. And it's like, no, I'm just trying to get my mind right. You feel me? Like, I really went on a real, like, I went black. I went completely black from everything. And it's like, until I really could transition out of the streets and feel like an artist again, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not speaking to nobody. I'm not coming around nobody. And then I worked on my album and I put PTSD out. That was my very first, like, debut, like, real album. And it did what it did. And from there on, it's like, all right, bet.
Did PTSD, did that feel like a truth album to you though? And by that,
yeah, I mean, like, I know what you mean by that. Like, it was really, because I was living in my thoughts. Like, I was really, like, everything that I put into that album. Like, actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about PTSD, but I'm really tripping. That was Humble Beast that I dropped. That was my first album, Humble Beast. I put that one out. And then I put out Swervo and all that. I was having fun. Me and Southside was just reckless all over the place, you know. But when I put PTSD out, that was one of the times, like, and we still on the same subject, where I really was reinventing myself again because I was fighting a case and I couldn't leave Chicago. I was stuck back in the same environment that I was trying to leave for years and years and years. And now I got access to all the negative shit that I didn't like want to like be a part of.
It's right there.
It's right there now. Like, and I was making money, but I couldn't go do shows and stuff like that. I couldn't travel. So like all the money I'm making, I'm really spending. And I'm stubborn. Like, I didn't want to go get no house in Chicago because I felt like I'm going to stay if I get a house.
Right.
Like, I was really just spending money staying in a hotel. Like, I stayed in the trunk for like 5 months straight.
That's why you're a Trumper.
No. I ain't gonna lie, that was before he was even running for office. So I was staying in that hotel. I probably stayed in there for like 8 or 9 months, to be honest. You feel what I'm saying?
It's crazy that you had the wherewithal to also say, man, if I buy a house, then I'm really...
Yeah, I felt like I was gonna come back. Like, I'm here now. Like, I'll be traveling back.
That's a conscious decision
and
too, though, bro.
Yeah, because I could have saved a lot of money just buying a crib, but I was like, you know what? The very moment my judge tell me I could leave, I'm getting on a plane that same day.
Did you know that the judge was gonna say that? And I mean,
didn't. I just had faith.
Yeah, because it's in your head, man. Your fault or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And being truly in it or not being really in it. It's really like, damn. This could be it. Yeah, man. And I pray. I ain't gonna lie, I pray a lot, you know, and I had my faith. Like, I had my faith in God. Like, man, I know for sure I'm not gonna be stuck here. Like, this ain't my destiny. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't finna go to jail. Like, that's not for me. You know, like, I always just knew, like, jail not for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just stayed down, just stayed focused. Just man,
kept
you cleared
faith,
that. You was assholes and elbows or something. I mean, it was like, you ain't seeing nothing but the back of me, I'm gone.
Nah, like, as soon as, I promise, and I had my mind made up, like, as soon as my judge told me that I'm free to travel, I'm getting on a plane. And my judge told me I was free to travel, and I left. And I've been in LA ever since. And I have not left and went back to Chicago, like, moving there. You know, like, I go back, I give back, I go do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see me in Chicago for 20, 30 days straight sometimes when I'm taking care of business. But as soon as I'm done, I'm on the plane right back. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
hey, man, when you say you lost your brother, how do you, there's things in our lives, bro, that we wonder, like, man, what's the bounce back here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even with your success, you always, there's times when I think, like, sometimes do I wait for, damn, what's the next, you know, things are good. What's the next thing? You know what I'm saying? But what's your bounce back from something like that?
Man, it was hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he passed away January 2021, the beginning of the year. And until 2023, I was all over the place. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing, or like, I didn't even know what the next step was, like, for me. Like, and I fell into, like, heavy depression. I was drinking every day, like, heavy alcoholism. Like, I almost died. I crashed. I had a Jeep Trackhawk that my girl bought me for my birthday, and I was drinking. It was probably, like, coming from the studio. It was probably like 6, 7 in the morning. And I totaled my car, like, and by the grace of God, I ain't had a scratch on me. But if you seen the car, it looked like somebody died in the car. You feel what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a fast car too.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was doing like 100 trying to get home. You know what I'm saying? It wrecked the car, and like, even still, like, I felt like I was in so much of depression. Like, even after that situation, I still didn't stop drinking. I still kept on doing the exact same thing.
Like I said, it's not the instant light switch. It's the dimmer.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't really, like, I think the real bounce back for me, like, and I know, was having kids again.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had my second born, Essex, and then I had my daughter right after. And I felt like, all right, man, I got to really, like, try to get a grasp on myself, you know, because I was super depressed. Like, all I did was really, like, cry all day, drink. I go to the studio and make music because, of course, that's my passion. I loved it. I never really started recording music, but I didn't really get back to myself. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And my little brother, he got 2 sons for real too. So it's like seeing them, and you know, his youngest son was like, I think he was like 1 at the time. But he, like, you know, he was kind of like too young to understand, but he still understood that his father wasn't there no more. Like, he was old enough to know, like, all right, where my dad at? You know what I'm saying? And his oldest son was like 7 at the time. Like, so just really going back and trying to be as much as I can be in their life. And it was just like a lot of pressure on me for real. Like I felt like when he passed away, I was the closest thing to him. You know what I'm saying? Like the closest thing like to him as a friend, as a mentor, as a big brother, as everything. Like everything we did was together. So I feel like I lost like half of myself for real. And I still like, you know, a lot of time when people say like, and I'm no stranger to death. When people say like it get better, like this is one of them things where it's like it still never get better. I'm still dealing with it to this day, still. You feel what I'm saying? But I get like clarity out of our last conversation. One of the last conversations, well, our very last conversation that we had was like 4 or 5 in the morning on the 27th, or maybe it was the 28th because it was 4 or 5 in the morning. I was in LA. We was texting, and our conversation just got deep. And we was talking. He was talking about like how he always wanted the best for me, and like how he never wanted nothing from me, and he still don't. Like, bro, I don't care how much money you get, how big you get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I want to see you go and be great. You know what I'm saying? And he literally died the very next day. So, like, with that being our last conversation, it always replay back in my head. And, like, that be my motivation. And, like, all right, I got to do it. And I know for a fact, like, no matter what. And when I went into that depression, I used to always be like, man, if he was here, he would be telling me, like, you tripping. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he one of the people that tell me, like, you tripping. Like, nah, I don't care what it is. Like, you know, like, he wouldn't want me to be sad and depressed. Like, I'm really getting emotional right now talking about it. Like, he wouldn't want me to be doing any of the stuff that I was doing. Like, and I felt like, in a way, even though I was really hurting, it was like I was making an excuse because I know for a fact, like, this not for me. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing nothing but focus on my career and my life and my kids and being there for his kids, you know what I'm saying? Because I automatically took on that responsibility. As soon as he died, like, that was my responsibility. Those my children now.
And we don't see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't see that. We'll see something on social media, you know, and then you still, if anybody run into you in public, you still got to put the cape on.
Yeah.
You know, you give them their moment, take the picture,
for
you know,
sure.
And those are the kind of things, man, where it's always in your head. Even when you get up to go take a piss,
for
it's
sure.
like it pops into your head.
That's crazy, like, that you saying that, because I dealt with a lot of, like, death early on. Like, I lost a lot of my closest friends, and like 8th grade is when I really started to, like, lose my friends. And it always happened at a frequent level. Every year I'm losing somebody I know. But when he died, it's like it was nothing that I could do and not think about him. Like, it don't matter what I'm doing. Like, I'm out driving, I'm doing something, buying something at a show, at a video shoot, or eating food, or whatever the case may be. It's always in the back of my mind. So I was just trying to find whatever outlet to kind of like stop me from doing that. You know what I'm saying? Stop me from thinking about it and being depressed. And that's why I started to drink so much. And I would party a lot. Like, I would go out to the clubs every day. I'd be out in the club, and just like, it was my way of like trying to like fake it, you know what I'm saying? Like, being around people, trying to be in a party environment, you feel me, get drunk and have loud music playing, because when I'm in my thoughts, that's all I'm thinking about, you know? And it got to a point where it's like,
loud.
It got to a point where my life only consisted of that. Like, I was just spending money in the club all night, drinking and just doing everything but really what I was supposed to been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really stopped working as hard as I used to, or as I should have been working to do that, you know? And it really took it took 2 years to really get out of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't even snap out of it. It was just like, man, slowly but surely, I'm finna just try to stop drinking as much. You know what I'm saying? Stop drinking all day, every day, because that was literally all I did. I woke up drinking, went to sleep drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then I started to get back into music and start back dropping music and putting my mixtapes together and surround myself around like good energy. You know what I'm saying? And over this past year, I've been getting a lot better at it.
And it's still a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a lifetime journey.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost my mom in 99, bro, and it's still a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
You know, and the triggers. You know what I'm saying? The triggers, it's like, it could be somebody like, oh, I talked to my mom, boom. I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And I would tell people, man, especially the first, like, you going through the first few years, man, and I can never explain anyone else's pain. You know what I'm saying? But I just know that I could be in a room full of people, or I could be at a venue getting on stage with 15,000 people, and I'd be the loneliest one in the room.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know
I be
what I'm
like
saying?
that, bro. It's like,
Or I could be up and then I'll be rolling with my boy Fuzz and I'm looking out the window and he's like, Big, you good?
Yeah.
And I'm crying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta let those emotions happen.
I feel like that though. Like I really feel like sometimes I'll be in the room, but I'm not there. Like I'm not actually in this place right now. You know, my mind be somewhat totally different. And like I be trying to like visualize his voice, like hear his voice sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like that be helping me like try to think about some funny stuff, you know, but I always like venture off into another space, you know, and I be having to snap out of it because I got short attention span already. Right? When I'm on stage and stuff like that, I can't even look at the next person. I can't look at nobody in the crowd like rapping my lyrics, or I mess up. So it's like when I'm on stage, I literally zone out. I try not to think about nothing.
What do you focus on when you're on stage?
When I'm on stage, I just focus on the lyrics.
Right. Do you have lyric monitors?
I don't have lyric monitors, but I have like I always print out my set list. And
Gotcha.
I got like I don't ever really forget my lyrics. The only way I will forget or mess up is if I look at somebody, like
get thrown off.
Look at my DJ, look at somebody next to me, look at somebody in the crowd, like, you know what I'm saying? I literally zone out. I try not to look at, and I would like, I have fan engagement, don't get me wrong.
Right. But at the right time.
3 seconds. Literally. I can't look at nobody for no longer than 3 to 5 seconds or I'm going to mess up.
Man, we just saw Lil Wayne last week, and Wayne got a catalog.
Yeah.
He had monitors. Yeah, because and I found myself reading along with the monitor. That's what you said on there. You know, but Wayne is an influence to you as well,
for sure.
Right?
No, definitely.
Man,
that's, like Wayne is literally like my favorite rapper of all time. Like,
hey man, even just watching him last week, right? I was like, dude, this dude is a machine.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And recently we just saw Kendrick, which I love as well, man. We saw Kendrick get the 2025, Super Bowl for Super Bowl 59 for the halftime performance. But if somebody would have told me, I'm not a betting man, but in New Orleans,
I would have definitely betted that. I would have betted that it would have been Wayne for sure.
Yeah, man.
And I seen a clip like that's resurfacing, but when he first did that interview with YG, and he was saying like that he wanted to, do the Super Bowl. I just thought that was the icing on the cake. Like, oh yeah, he got it now for sure.
And it was one of them things. YG knew it, Wrld knew it. They threw it out there.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, and I'm good with Kendrick and everybody, and not like people sit at the table like, Big, we got Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't know until we saw the ad. But if anything, and I love it. But I was like, low-hanging fruit. You couldn't have told me it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, no, you couldn't have told me either. That's crazy.
And I'm thinking like Wayne, Cash Money, Juvenile, Hot Boys, or the Hot Boys coming. I'm even thinking like, man, do they include Master P? It's like that's low-hanging hometown fruit.
I honestly, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big Kendrick fan, man. I love Kendrick. But I feel like it would have done more for like the New Orleans like culture.
Yep.
It would have been like, it would have been bigger, like, for the culture.
Yeah,
like,
man, that's what I was.
It would have been more monumental, I feel like, if Wayne.
I was talking with Master P, and he was like, man, the city needed that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was telling people, I always say, I was like, man, there's some people that didn't get their NBA championship ring because Michael Jordan was playing.
Right.
Or because Shaq and Kobe, or because, Golden State Warriors. Just block out like, damn, I played at that time and I didn't get it. And that's the way I feel with this window of opportunity with the Super Bowl being in New Orleans.
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy? Next year is going to be in L.A.
Yeah, and surrounding areas, right?
Yeah, San Francisco next year, and then the next.
Next year is in San Francisco.
Yeah,
and the following year's.
And so now, and I'm not saying, just because you're from the turf, you should get it, but that one made sense.
Sure. That one made perfect sense.
And I'm saying this, man, even with San Francisco, I don't know who the person is that, people gatekeeping, Jay-Z, whatever it may be. But then do we say, man, 40 got to be there, E40, and in the Bay Area is short, like, but I know that somewhere in Middle America, there's somebody like in Tupelo, Mississippi or something like that saying, man, fuck this. When you guys gonna bring back, you know what I'm saying? Because we've had a run.
No, for sure.
We've had Rihanna, Usher, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre, Snoop, 50 Cent, Eminem, Mary J. Blige.
It was crazy, because he brought out, like, when Eminem did it was in L.A., right? Wasn't that Super Bowl in L.A.?
Yes.
Yeah, he brought out Snoop and everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, Dre brought out everybody.
Oh, Dre brought them all out.
That was Dre and friends, man. And Kendrick was there.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? So this one, man, I would have lost a lot.
I would have bet too. I ain't gonna lie, I definitely would have bet.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and I think we're gonna see a lot of dialogue, man. But one of my people that's from out there, he was like, man, they can't make this right now.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
They can't make it right.
Yeah. And
You
it's
know?
like, I feel like how you said Master P said, like the city needed it. I
Yeah,
really
man.
feel like that would have brought the city together, like culture wise. Like they would have been excited. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
People would have been excited to
Yeah.
see it. More people would have actually came.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
And it
not
just
saying
would've
they not gonna come
boosted-
out, but it would have just been a better look overall for hip hop, for New Orleans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, yeah.
And it's been some hard blows to New Orleans as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that would have been so great. And even when they announced that it was gonna be out there,
Right.
the turnup was amazing.
Yeah.
They're like, man,
and
we
New
got
Orleans
a Super
already a
Bowl.
party town, man. They
Yeah,
would've been
man. Can you
outside
imagine?
watching. Yeah.
And they still gonna get down
For sure.
But man, if you would have had this and that,
Yeah.
whole different
Nah,
world.
that would've been crazy.
Whole different world, man. Talk to me about the new album as well, man.
Man, Big Swerve out
Yeah.
now.
Swerve.
Yeah,
Man.
come on.
I ain't gonna lie, it's like a relief, like a big weight off my shoulder.
Why you say?
Because this is probably the longest it ever took me to actually record and put out a project. You know, like I've been working on Big Swerve for probably 4 years. Like,
And there was a lot in those 4 years too.
yeah, a lot going on. Like
Pandemic, brother, kids,
Yeah.
life, everything.
yeah, a lot, man. And I always like I was saying earlier, I never stop going to the studio.
Right.
I'm always working. I'm a lab rep, you know, and I live in my music a lot, you know. So it's like I feel like what I was trying to create with this album, I feel like it came out at a perfect time. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not the same person that I was 4 years ago, you know. So it was a lot of time and energy and emotion put into this project. And like we was talking about when we first like started having a conversation, the way your fans want to keep you in a box. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That we're growing. Like I've grown so much as a person, and why I want my music to be, Big Swerve to me is how I want to think and how I want to live as an artist. I want to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to be talking about my trauma all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because
what?
I'm trying to overcome that trauma.
I did notice that on the album too.
Yeah.
And real talk, and what I love about it as well, how many times did you recreate the album in 4 years?
Probably about 5-6 times.
Yeah,
at least.
because there was probably some material that you thought this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, this is what I want to put out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's like right now where I am, I'm back having fun. Like I'm feeling like myself again. I had a
And
confidence
it's
as an
authentic
artist.
fun.
It's authentic fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like of course I'm back like in a mode where I could be consistent. Like I'm so blessed that I'm one of the artists that could really take a break, a year break, a 2-year break from dropping and releasing music, and my fans just still waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of artists not fortunate enough to have that.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
bro.
saying? Like how you said, you hit a day and gone
On
the
the
night.
night, bro.
So it's like with this project, I put so much into. I want people to understand like this is who I am right now. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I always been a humble guy. I never really like flex what I got and what I got going on. But now it's like, is it wrong that I don't want to be humble no more? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is me. This is who I am.
I
This
always
is what
tell
I'm
people-
on right now. Like you got to get to a point where like you just got to put it in their face to make them respect it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's what Big Swerve is to me right now. You feel me? And I
Yeah.
still got those records where I'm rapping, and I'm at a point right now where I'm about to put so much music out. Like I'm about to flood the streets with so much music right now. Like my core fans, they gonna get what they want. But right now, this was a statement piece for me. Like Big Swerve, I want it to be respected, like as like a top tier artist in the industry. I wanted them to know that I could actually make records. Like I'm not just a rapper that rap about the streets and rap about my trauma and rap about the things that I've been
Right.
through, because everybody can't relate to that.
Right.
Everybody haven't been through what I've been through, but everybody can relate to wanting to be in an environment having fun. Everybody can relate to wanting to go out on a Friday night. You just got paid. You trying to go enjoy yourself. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Big Swerve is to me. You know, it's like an alter ego of who G Herbo and Lil Herb is. You know what I'm saying? G Herbo is the guy that's going to pop out swaggy. I got my jewelry on. I'm hopping out my foreign car. I'm doing this. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm in the club. I'm traveling. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never got to rap about the things that I was experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you feel like you couldn't? Like, I don't want to put it in their face or
Yeah.
humble and
And that's crazy you
And-
saying that, because
yeah.
for years and years, I wouldn't, like, my closest friends, my best friends would always tell me, like, you buy a car, you don't post it. You buy chains, you don't post it. You don't do this because it's like it's so many people who don't got what I got, who want what I want, and I'm always the person that's looking out for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now when they calling me and I don't even say no. Sometimes I just like not even respond until I got it together and be like, all right, I got you. So now it's like, oh, you want 5,000? I can't give you the 5,000, or you waiting on the 5,000, but you see I just bought a $200,000 chain, a $200,000 cop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always been that kind of guy to not really like post what I got and post my possessions because I know it's always somebody watching.
Never
and somebody
apologize
who won't.
for your success.
Exactly. And Southside told me that. He like, bro, you work. This is your money. You work for it. Like, if you go make $1 million, you want to go spend $999,000. It's your money, bro. Go do what you want to do because I'm not apologizing for it. Like, everybody know me. And when Southside told me that, he like, I felt it though. You know what I'm saying? Because he know exactly what I've been through and what it took for me to get here to this point.
See it.
You know what I'm saying? And he like, bro, you deserve it, bro. Should nobody be mad at you or hating on you because it used to be that. Like, I used to get into it with people about the dumbest things. Like, they want a chain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the craziest stuff. You don't even got a house and a car, but you want a chain. You know what I'm saying?
Or they probably want one off your neck. Sorry, I know I asked for one too, but man, I put myself in there. But,
you good for it though, man. You good for it.
You can't give me, you got 5 on your neck.
Like stuff like that, you know, and I used to deal with that a lot, man. You feel me? Like, because people, it's always like the haves, the have-nots, the people who want it, you know what I'm saying? And I always been a person that looked out for people. Like, I always looked out.
One of my guys, he told me when I was at this one spot, he told me, he said, he heard me talking to some people, looking out for him. He came over to me, and he was like, Kurt, he said, are you caretaking right now? And I was like, damn.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am caretaking. Yeah, man. Yeah. And what you do, and it sounds so generic, you know, but when you get on a plane, what the first thing they tell you? Secure your mask.
Secure your mask. You can't put on nobody else's mask before you put on yours.
Secure your mask, man.
No, for sure, bro.
Yeah, you got to secure the mask before you secure the bag.
And one of my homies taught me something too, though. He was like, this how you really X all of that out. Like, even if you can do it, just be like, let me see what I could do. Like, don't say yes, don't say no. Be like, let me think about it. And he say, and within them, like, 2 weeks from you saying, let me see what I could do, you're going to hear people talking bad about you. You're going to do this. And then it's like, a lot of times you regret even doing something for somebody. When you say yes off the rip, just give it to them. Just make them wait a little bit. Make them wait 2 weeks, 30 days or something. And then you hear they talking about you to the next person and saying, oh, yeah, Herb bogus, man. That nigga ain't. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I asked him for this. He ain't do it. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, exactly. And like, and then you save yourself a lot of time and energy because, for one, you not giving your money up and you getting people around you that shouldn't even be around you in the first place. Because if you always giving and giving and giving, you never know if they even really with you for real.
You know what I just noticed too? This whole time, you kept saying give, give, give. You know what you never said?
Receive.
Loan. Loan or receive.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even, for sure. That's the crazy part about it. Like, I don't even be loaning.
You know it.
I just want, because it's like in my head, once I get it to you, I feel like it's gone.
Oh, yeah, it's gone anyway.
You ain't even getting it back. So I ain't even going to ask for it back.
I get you back. I'm like, okay, so magically this is supposed to fall out the sky to pay me back. And then the other part going to fall out the sky to keep you afloat.
To keep you good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I had a friend one time.
You didn't.
He asked for $500, and then I was like, I only got 3, bro. And I replied with, I only had 3. And I got left on blank. Like, he never replied or anything.
Right.
Like 3 wasn't enough, or like
really?
I was just like, what do you mean? Like,
exactly.
I got nothing. I was like, damn, dude, couldn't take like the 3 from me.
Yeah, man.
Like, no reply. Dude wanted full 500. I was like, wow.
Nah, that's crazy, bro.
Screw that, dog.
You go through that, and it's like you live and learn, man. And like, I got an older brother as well. Like, my big brother, he probably the most like responsible person like around me. Period. Like, he great with money. Like, he always, if he ever gets something from you, he gonna make sure he pay you back in every single dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I be seeing like what he do. You know what I'm saying? It's like he a real hustler for real. Like, he gonna grind and make sure he taken care of and everybody taken care of. Like, he the one that all my little cousins, nieces, and aunties, and he don't miss no birthdays. He take care of everybody. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, he always blessed from doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'll be wanting to like look out for him because that's my big brother and he go everywhere with me. But people would think that I done gave him $1 million or something already. I ain't never gave my big brother $1. Like, if anything, if I need some money, he gonna give me 100,000 if I need it. You feel what I'm saying? It's like,
let me get his number. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man,
he like
Herbo's
that.
brother.
No, for sure. So it's like, in my mind, I be like, because he closest to me and he my older brother, time will go by and now I'm getting old and I'm maturing. I'm like, I got to make sure I put him in position. Because if something happened to me or something happened to the family, he the one that's going to take care of my family. So it's like, he my top priority right now. So it's like, I got to the point where I can't even look out for nobody else because I got to just make sure the people who closest to me, who going to always make sure I'm good regardless and don't want or need nothing from me, them the most important people to me right now.
What's fatherhood to you? You got 3 babies?
Yeah, I got 3.
What's the ages?
Your son is 6, he about to be 7. My son Essence is 3, and my daughter 2, Emmy.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
adorable,
man.
Yeah. They like twins. They like night and day though, man. For real, like they Irish twins.
Hey,
they
man, you lit up when you
apart.
start talking about your kids.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man.
Isn't it crazy
man,
when we thought we were living, then we realized what we're living for?
Fatherhood is amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
I see myself, like, I see bits and pieces of myself in all 3 of my kids, you know, and just being around them. Like, sometimes I really gotta, like, just put the world on hold and just be in the crib with my kids, like, for real. And it's like, even if we not doing nothing, like, cause your son, he at that age where, like, I was just talking to him and he got mad at me because I told him, I said, bro, do you think, like, that life gotta be exciting every day you with me? Like, we gotta go to the amusement park every day. We gotta go to the jumpy house every day. We gotta go to the movies
and how
every
old
day.
Is he?
He's 6. He's about to be 7. I'm like, bro, like, we can't, you don't just like chilling with your dad, just regular hanging out? Like,
hey, man, but let me tell you, bro, and you know what's crazy about that, Herbo, is we created that because we're Superman to our kids. I remember one night, man, I think we was going to an Usher concert or something like that, and my son wanted to go. So I was like, all right, cool, let me just grab some tickets from the station. So when we get to the venue, we're walking down from the top, and my son is walking straight to the floor, and I didn't have floor seats.
Right.
I'm like, I'm looking at him, literally, I'm behind him. He walking to the floor, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is what I created.
But like, man, I ain't never been up there.
Yeah. But I didn't have it.
Right.
So and sometimes, man, it's a pattern of mine too, where I'm just like, I gotta give it. I gotta give it. But yeah, your son thing, it's exciting, bro.
It's exciting every single time we gotta go somewhere. We just chilling, be like, I'm bored. Daddy, I want to go somewhere. I'm like, son, I'm tired right now. Like, I just want to pick you up, get some food, and go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it really did make me, like, it made me feel good, though. I'm grateful that he feel like that about me because my like, I was just talking to him yesterday. Literally, I was just talking to him. And he was like, what's your favorite thing you used to do, like, in your childhood? And I'm like, hang with my dad. Like how you like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad used to, and my dad didn't have it like that growing up. So it's like, when my dad took me to the movies or the Dave and Buster's, one of my favorite things to do would be go to Dave and Buster's with my pops. You know what I'm saying? And like, I used to, like, that was the highlight of my month, the summer, whatever it was. You
now
know,
your
like,
kids want to go to the movies, come
go
out and go
every
to Dave
day.
and Buster's.
Exactly. He want to go to the movies, go to the jumpy house, Dave and Buster's, all in the same day.
Yeah, and then what we gonna do? I can't wait till tonight.
In the same day, man. I just walked in my kids' room, man, and they got 5 of the same toys. That's how much I take them to Target to buy the same stuff.
I love when my kids say, I'm hungry, there's nothing here to eat. I'm like, what?
Man, what? You ain't never had a syrup sandwich?
Please say that again.
You ain't never had a syrup sandwich, man.
Hey, man, my kids gonna watch or listen to this interview. They're gonna say, you told them to say that.
No, for
because
real.
I tell them, I say, hey, man, we ate syrup sandwiches. We ate sugar sandwiches.
Man,
you know what I'm
real.
saying?
No,
like,
I'm telling you.
Like, man, I'm like, and I tell my kids, there's canned goods in there, there's this, there's that. But it's not what you want to eat.
Man, what exactly?
When
Fried
we said
bologna
there was
raised
nothing
me,
to eat in the house, it was nothing to eat.
Literally.
Yeah, man. Like,
no, my kids like that, man. I promise.
But
like,
thank
I go
God.
to Target. I go spend $1,000 in Target.
Thank God you can.
4 times a week, probably.
And you worked hard on it. You know what I'm saying? You worked
your
hard
money.
on it. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. That's what it is. We made it.
Man, I love
You know
it
what I'm
though,
saying?
man. Childhood is like, I love it, man. It's a blessing to be able to, like, my daughter, she a daddy's girl, you know what I'm saying? My middle child, I named him after the block I grew up on, and he was born a gangster. I don't know how. Like, I should have named him that, man. I walked in the house yesterday. I probably was in the house for 20 minutes, man. He punched me 100 times in 20 minutes, man. All he want to do is fight and rough me up, you know, like. All of them like me in different ways.
It's crazy when you see their traits
fatherhood.
at early ages, man.
I promise they all have differerent parts of me, like, in them. You know what I'm saying?
And you see it, and you're gonna see it even more so.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it even more.
It's
So like my
crazy,
daughter
bro.
be 16 this month. You'll be performing at a party. Thank you.
Oh, for sure,
Hey,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
But my daughter, like when she was a baby, I'll show you pictures, dude. She have her fist balled up and but she looked at everybody. She didn't trust and to this day, she's suspicious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's suspicious.
Yeah.
Like even with me, she'll read my phone over my shoulder and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
That's your conciliary right
Yeah,
there.
like what the hell? Look that up for me too. Conciliary.
Conciliary, I got you, man.
Just look. I'll find out the definition of that after you get out of here. Yeah, just spell it how you want.
See,
Google.
man.
Google
No,
pick
for
it up.
sure. You know that, man.
Yeah, but no, man, it's a pleasure having you in the neighborhood,
love
bro.
it, man. Appreciate
and we
it.
said we were gonna do this as well, man.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I've been a fan since I was a kid, bro.
Thank you,
I
bro.
always love hip hop. I always love what you meant to the culture. So it's like every time I used to
Thank
see
you,
you out,
brother.
I'm like, man, I gotta really come rock with
Hey,
Big Bro,
man, and
I'm grateful to be here right now.
I love your happiness, man.
appreciate
and
it,
it's
bro.
crazy, bro, because we've had so many, even in the neighborhood, that I've had a chance to sit down with that's not with us here anymore. You know, and you've had a chance to work with them too.
Yeah, for sure,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And just to be able to say, man, I'm here and I'm keeping it going. And
grateful.
even with like in your relationship with Juice World.
Yeah, that's
Like
my
having
little
brother in here, bro. And seeing him and he was always A1, extremely talented, you know, and that's another talent that I'm like, man, if we got that much from him,
Exactly.
what were we going to get? That dude was
Man, bro, I say that
a
all
machine,
the time. I
man.
say that literally all the time, man. And like, even on the backside of him, like battling with his depression and his anxiety and all the things that he faced, bro, he was such a good, pure soul. Like he was always like, even when he depressed, he happy. Like
Right.
all he had to do was be in the right environment. Like if he, like every time I see him, he excited. He want to work. He want to play his music 100 times in a row. Like I have no bad memories of Juice World whatsoever.
Did you
feel
trip
what I'm
off
saying?
his creative process?
I used to be amazed, bro, and I never seen nothing like him at all. Like, and the most creative people that I met in the industry, like other than Juice World, is Thug and Future.
Right.
And they said the exact same thing. Like he was a different breed to them. You feel what I'm saying? Like Pluto got Juice tattooed on him. You know what
Really
I'm saying? Like,
though?
yeah, he got a Juice World tattoo. Like that's how much he really rocked with Lil Bro.
Hey, man.
Like he ain't like Shorty. I literally seen him, and I said this in interviews. People think that I be lying. Like I seen him record a song in 5 minutes, scratch that, record another song to the same beat, scratch that, record another song to the same beat, 3 different versions, 3 different flows, 3 different tempos, 3 different melodies, and then just like, all right, y'all pick the one.
Hey, man, it looked easy.
It was easy, bro. It
Hey,
was
man.
natural. Like
How old were you guys when y'all met? You and Juice WRLD?
Juice was, I believe Juice was 19 and I was 23, like 23.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
22, 23.
Hey, man, because it just seemed like there was also just a chemistry. But I remember the times that he came in. One time he was in the neighborhood, bro. His freestyling, right? And I've been around hip hop
Yeah.
my entire life.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many of the best freestylers. And I know when somebody's freestyling, then I know when they're going back to written and I know how, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
or when
he-
they rhyming, I rap. So I know, I know their next word.
Right.
Man, I remember I never really asked, but I had to ask his people. I was like, bro, was that really freestyle? But he had no safety net.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And dude was just going on. And I was like,
it was
oh my
every
God,
time
bro.
you heard him rap, it was a freestyle, bro. Literally every single time you could put a beat on. I don't care what beat. You could just, the song could have just came out yesterday, and you play that instrumental, and he could freestyle from the beginning of the beat
Yeah, man.
to the end of the beat, bro.
Did you
One
know he
time
was
we
special? Oh, go ahead.
No, look, one time, of course I knew he was special.
Yeah.
I promise you. I was the first person to hear Juice WRLD music. Me and my homie G Money. We heard his music at the same time. My homie Vic, DJ Vic, he discovered, like, he brought Juice WRLD to us. You feel what I'm saying? And when he played it, I think he played All Girls Are the Same, and he played Lucid Dreams at the same time. And we like, man, Shorty out of here. Like, it's over with. Like, Shorty the one. We was in the car. We was sitting in front of the W Hotel in Hollywood. And he played it. I'm like, man, he out of here. Like, whoever Shorty is, we got to go find him. We didn't even know he's from Chicago until my homie said it. Like,
So it wasn't like a street bubble or y'all knew each other.
No, everything was completely underground. We
Discovered
heard
him.
this music. We like, we got to go find him. Because he knew him. My homie Vic knew him. We like, go get Shorty, man. Like, get him. Bro, bring
Yeah,
him to
man.
L.A. He out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then we brought him to L.A., started hanging around him, had him in the studio recording. And literally, when he put his first song out, and 3 months from then, he was selling out rooms, 5,000, 10,000. And from then on out, it was just up. Like, it was over with. Like, one day we sat in the studio, bro, and Dash, who was the A&R that sat them at the time, he would just grab obstacles. Like, he would just grab the water bottle, make a freestyle. He was rapping. He picked the water bottle up, Juice rapping, and he'd say something about water. He'd grab this icebreakers thing, and he would say something about icebreakers or chewing gum, charger, this. He would,
and then the most difficult words too.
Man,
he wasn't like me in the place to be.
Yeah,
he wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I was sitting here and I still go back to him, I'm like, dude, or I just listen to even unreleased material, and I'm like, man, this is ridiculous.
And Juice still probably got enough music to drop for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it felt like he would like really like done
right now. He could drop for the next 5 to 10 years.
Even watching his documentary, I was like, this dude just like this. Even just I'm like, he not even recording some of this.
Nah, he not. He not. He would just rap over beats, bro. Like, he literally would just want to sit in the crib and freestyle and make music all day. One day we was in London, bro. I watched him record like 45 songs in like 30 hours, 24 hours. We didn't go to sleep though. We was up. I might have recorded like 5 or 6 songs. I watched him literally sit in the studio and record 40 to 50 songs within 24 to 36 hours.
Were you ever scared for him? Could you see something?
Nah, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest. I never was afraid. Like, I never felt like he was like on the verge or like going out or anything like that, bro. I promise you, I really didn't. And a lot of it had to do with because, you know, I was using too, for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't think like, a lot of times I never really seen him like abuse it though. Like, in a documentary, you would see him take like 10 pills and stuff like that. I never seen him do that for real. Like, he never did it in front of me. You know, like, I never seen him like snort a pill or none of the stuff that he was doing in the documentary. I never seen that, to be honest. But I never was afraid for him though. Like, I promise you, when that happened, it caught me like completely by surprise. Like, I was devastated. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have no idea that, or not even the slightest thought like, all right, man, broke an OD, because I would have talked to him. That was my real little brother. Like, I feel like I could have really talked to him and like, man, you tripping. Like, even if he wouldn't have listened, I would have still said
on record said it.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
And I never had that conversation with him.
Such a talent, man. And the reason why I did ask is because you started to look at people and you're like, man, you appreciate their journeys too, because it's been a lot, and sometimes it's more. Sometimes the weight is so heavy that it's easier, it feels like, to just give up. You know what I'm saying? So you recreating yourself, or not even recreating yourself, but just finding true self. Yeah. And, you know, being braggadocious and humble at the same time.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And just you having a genuine, hopefully it's a genuine smile. Yeah. And congratulations on the new material as well, man. And I really appreciate you coming into the neighborhood.
Thanks, bro.
G Herbo, we said we was going to do it. G Herbo in the neighborhood. Big Boy's neighborhood.